Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened last Friday?
Jehu decided that he wanted to kill a lot of fuckers.
He sure as fuck did.
And then he killed a lot of fuckers.
Oh my god, he killed so many people.
Right?
He was like, hey, all of you people that worship Baal, get up in here.
Yeah.
Let's have a party.
And then I'm going to kill you, ass. And I'm going to say, hey, God wanted this done, so I did it. You know, what's up, man? And then it turns out that God didn't really like the dude.
Didn't he?
He was bad in God's eye, according to, the Bible. So
he got rid of...
he did God's work by killing a lot of people. And then
he got rid of a lot of pagans.
And then God was like, I don't really like this guy either, so...
I know. I mean, thank you, but no.
Right? Yeah. That was basically what happened last week, right?
I mean, you can be a bad guy and do good things.
Yeah.
Just as well as you can be a good guy and do bad things.
But that was some pretty bad shit.
He murdered so many people.
Right? Yeah, it was
Lots
ridiculous.
of blood on his hands.
Well, anyway, that was 2 Kings chapter 10.
It sure as fuck was.
And today we're getting into...
2 Kings chapter 11.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 11.
Okay.
When Athaliah... Or Athaliah. I bet it's Athaliah.
That sounds better. I like that better.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that. When Athaliah, the mother of King Ahaziah of Judah, learned that her son was dead.
Yeah, because Jehu killed every motherfucker on the planet. Probably.
Right, yeah. She began to destroy the rest of the royal family.
Oh.
Was it destroy, like, you know how if you write something that's like a sick burn on Twitter and they're like, whoa, boom, you destroyed them, or do they mean destroy,
I
like,
think they
murder?
destroyed in another, murder.
In the murdery
I mean, generally
way.
when we're in the Bible, it's murder.
Right.
So.
But we use destroy so willy-nilly now.
We do.
I thought it was funny, like, in my head, she destroyed them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. But Ahaziah's sister, Hold on. Let's try this again. Jehosheba,
okay.
The daughter of King Jehoram, took Ahaziah's infant son Joash, too many J words,
right? Yeah,
and stole him away from among the rest of the king's children who were about to be killed.
Oh, so
she had a baby.
One survives. One
baby.
I see.
A little Moses type of baby.
Was it in a wicker basket floating down the stream?
I don't know. She put Joash and his nurse in a bedroom, and they hid him from Athaliah. Is that what we decided it was?
Sure. Yeah. Let's just go with it. Athaliah.
Okay. So the child was not murdered. So no, he wasn't in a basket. He was in a bedroom.
Surely there's going to be a reason for this, right? This kid's going to turn into something important, or just we'll never hear about him again.
Joash remained hidden in the temple of the Lord for 6 years.
Holy shit.
While Athaliah ruled over the land.
Okay.
So.
All right. Apparently Athaliah is like on a rampage.
She is just killing willy-nilly.
And ruling.
And stuff. She's a king.
Yeah.
King.
Or maybe it's. Are you sure it's a she? Was it a she for sure?
She's a mom.
Oh yeah. That's
her
right.
son.
No, I'm just a woman ruling just doesn't fit in my head with the Bible.
That's I get it.
That's why I was trying to double check.
No, she's the mom.
Okay.
And she's like, "You kill my son, prepare to die." In the 7th year of Athaliah's reign, Jehoiada.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know I killed that.
Yeah. No. It's
priest.
Right. We're all used to it by now.
Fuck off. Jehoiada the priest summoned the commanders, the Karaite mercenaries, and the palace guards to come to the temple of the Lord. I have no idea who those people are.
Right.
But she summoned them.
We're going to find out probably. Let me first,
Or he summoned them. Jehoiada the priest summoned these guys.
Okay. Yep.
He made a solemn pact with them and made them swear an oath of loyalty there in the Lord's temple. Then he showed them the king's son. Oh. Jehoiada told them, "This is what you must do. A third of you who are on duty on the Sabbath are to guard the royal palace itself. Another third of you are to stand guard at the Sur Gate." Sir Gate.
Sir what? At the what gate?
S-U-R, Sir Gate.
Sir Gate.
Not like, Sir.
Right, not Sir, yeah.
Sir Good Enough. And the final third must stand guard behind the palace guard.
Okay.
These three groups will all guard the palace, which is literally what I just fucking said.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they like to repeat. So
they do.
It
they
is
do.
A thing. Yeah.
The other two units who are off duty on the Sabbath must stand guard for the king at the Lord's temple.
So then they're not off duty then.
Right.
Their day off is fucked.
Right. That time totally when you're on call 24/7 the rest of your life. Sounds like corporate America.
This is bullshit. I don't want to guard today. My day off. I was going to go to the beach.
Did you hear about all of that shit with the Amtrak workers? The railroad workers?
They were on strike.
But yeah, you know why they were on strike? They were not allowed to even call off, like, for a doctor's appointment.
Oh, yeah.
And they had zero idea the next time that they would have any day off, so they couldn't plan anything with their family.
Wow.
And then I was like, that sucks, but it sounds a lot like most jobs that you've had that aren't railroad work, like that's retail.
Generally mine.
Yeah, that's retail. Like,
now that being said, I kind of like my job. So
no,
like,
you do like your job, but having said that, there's no given time when I can say, hey, let's plan this for a couple weeks from now.
Right, because something might come up.
And even if something doesn't come up, there's a meeting, even though it falls on your day off, even a vacation day, you'd still have to sign in.
Not on vacation days.
Really?
Vacation days, I don't have to sign in.
Really?
Really.
Well, call me Mr. Silly Pants. Form a bodyguard, he continues to these guys.
Yeah, those people that were their day off, they're forming a bodyguard.
Around the king, and keep your weapons in hand. The king baby kid.
Because the king can't fight for himself yet.
Because he's only
young.
7.
Right, yeah.
Kill anyone who tries to break through. Stay with the king wherever he goes. Now, let me ask you this. He's in hiding. A 7-year-old kid in hiding. Yeah. But he's got a phalanx of fucking warriors all around him.
That well right
he's
now.
He's not in hiding anymore.
But this might be them just taking action all at once. Like maybe they're like, okay, we're making a move now. We're doing something.
And while we're doing it, you guys guard him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe nobody knew until now. Like maybe this is like a thing that's happening right now. Or right then.
I just think these people are dumb. So I just think they're probably not doing that.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
There's one way to find out, right?
Yes, keep reading. This is me just giving you my live take, okay?
No, I got it.
So the commanders did everything as Jehoiada the priest ordered. The commanders took charge of the men reporting for duty that Sabbath, as well as those who were going off duty. They brought them all to Jehoiada the priest, and he supplied them with the spears and small shields, not big shields, small shields that had once belonged to King David and were stored in the temple of the Lord.
Those are pretty old at this point, right?
Damn, no wonder they're small. The palace guard.
Is the giant shit still there? Like, if I was like one of those guys, I'd be like, hey, I know, you're handing this stuff out, but where's the giant thing at?
Where's the good one?
I want David's good one. Yeah, that one was the one I want.
Those are probably all done, melted down.
Right, yeah.
The palace guards stationed themselves around the king with their weapons ready. They formed a line from the south side of the temple around to the north side and all around the altar.
If somebody didn't have a clue that there was something going on, at this point, there's definitely something going on.
They're drawing attention to him if they wanted him to remain hidden.
Right, which is why I'm like, they better be doing something right now because, otherwise,
It's
They've
for nothing.
Just said, hey, we're here.
Right, they just put a target on this kid.
Right.
Then Jehoiada brought out Joash, the king's son, and placed the crown on his head.
Because that's important. That right there, that always makes a king official.
Well,
you see, like, you're not a king until that piece of metal goes on your head.
And presented him with a copy of God's laws. They anointed him and proclaimed him king.
Wait, they had copies of God's laws?
Sure. Why not?
Why were they always breaking them then?
Because I told you they're fucking stupid. They found the ark and they dug them out.
Oh, okay. Maybe they were lost up until now. They're like, oh shit! It was in my closet this whole time. You know,
we totally forgot. They anointed him and proclaimed him king, and everyone clapped their hands and shouted, "Long live the king!"
Ah,
this is weird timing with King Charles III taking the throne, and everybody's like, you know, Queen Elizabeth, God rest her soul.
Oh yeah, they're going to be usurping a queen here probably.
Yeah.
So like the queen.
That's what I'm saying. This is funny
king
timing.
Taking over.
Right. Yeah. When Athaliah heard the noise made by the palace guards and the people, she hurried to the Lord's temple to see what the fuck was happening. Wait.
She was close enough to hear the fucking noise.
She's in the temple.
Right, but there's like a fucking army forming just outside of where she's at.
Yeah, but the people are cheering.
Okay.
She's like, what the fuck's going on over there?
Yeah, all right.
So they're like in the same like area.
There will be no happiness in my reign. What the fuck's going on?
Well, if you hear, okay, like where we live at the beginning of the parades that go through our little town.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we don't know when a parade is happening, but we
always end up knowing.
Right. So we always like start hearing, you know, the honk honk, beep beep and all that shit and the band and stuff. And we're like,
the band's what gets me. I'm like, there's not usually a drum line outside my door, but apparently today.
There's a parade. So then we, you know, go outside to see what the fuck is happening. Yeah. That's what is happening here for her. She's like, I didn't call for a parade today.
Sometimes I'm like, is it a fucking holiday today? Why are we having a parade?
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Okay, it's totally off topic, as I do.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember, like, at the beginning of the pandemic when our local
teachers,
school, the teachers put together this little parade, and they came really through. Cool. It was I literally cried. I was not expecting to cry.
Because it was right at the height of the pandemic. Right at the beginning of the height of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And no one was able to see the teachers, and there was all this online stuff starting up.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary times.
Right. Yeah.
We did not know what the fuck was happening.
It was very heartwarming. And it was really cool that they did that. So.
Well, like we kind of knew it was coming, but we like forgot about it. We didn't plan it or anything. But like I said, you know. We always hear it. And so I heard it and ran down and was like, oh shit, you guys, it's the school parade. And you guys were like, whatever.
Right.
And then I was like, oh my God. And you guys came because I was excited.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was excited, but then.
Well, because we hadn't really, you couldn't go out and see people.
Right.
Like you didn't, I don't know. It was just something.
So then we're standing on our porch and we're watching all of these teachers and a lot of the teachers, because our school district is so small, even though our kid had moved from public school into online public school, they'd known Abby since kindergarten. And so
and they were
just waving like, hey, and
like, oh my gosh, I hardly recognized you.
Like they really, remembered, really and it was just so heartwarming. And,
it was,
and I cried.
It was.
I did. I'll never forget that.
It was great. No.
It was one of those where were you when and do you remember when kind of moments.
Definitely.
Okay, sorry, that was totally off topic, but parades. Got it. So she hears this fucking parade.
Yes.
And she's like, what the hell? When she arrived, she saw the newly crowned king, the 7-year-old kid, standing in his place of authority by the pillar, as was the custom at times of coronation. The commanders and trumpeters were surrounding him, and the people from all over the land were all over the land.
Yeah.
They were all rejoicing and blowing trumpets. They had some good Twitter going on back then if they were all over the land cheering.
That news spread like fucking wildfire.
They knew before she did.
They were like, get this bitch out of power. We want this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, what?
When Athaliah saw all this, she tore her clothes in despair and shouted, treason! Treason! Then Jehoiada the priest ordered the commanders who were in charge of the troops, take her to the soldiers in front of the temple and kill anyone who tries to rescue her.
Yeah. Because what?
Because kill her is why. because killing is cool.
Right. If this is all it took, like, why didn't they do this sooner?
I don't know.
Like, they just, like, hey, let's kill her.
Like, you didn't even have to have a kid. You could have just, pretended. Like, let's all just have a parade and pretend that there's something going on just to draw her out. When she gets here, just kill her.
Right.
And there doesn't even have to be any king there at all. For the priest had said she must not be killed in the temple of the Lord. So, I
mean, they kill lots of things in the temple of the Lord,
but
mostly
those are sacrificial.
Animals. Right.
This would be murderous.
Okay. I guess that matters.
You can only murder pagans in the temple.
Technically, at some point back early on, they were like, never murder. But then it was shortly after that they started murdering people in God's name. And we're like, wait, is it never murder or just only murder when God says
I have
murder?
A theory about that.
Okay.
You have to believe that the people that you're talking about are actually human beings.
Oh.
And I guess that they probably did not view the pagans as human beings, much as the early white folk, talked about slavery by not viewing Africans as humans, subhumans.
This reminds me. Yeah, I'm going to go off a little bit on the subject here as well. I was just listening to a podcast today. It was, I think, Reveal. Don't quote me on that, but they were talking about how slavery went into past the 14th Amendment. Like after the 14th Amendment was passed, they introduced, the slavery was basically in the jailhouses.
Yeah. So
they passed laws that still allowed slavery, but you had to be in jail in order to do it.
And that's still on the books.
Right. And this story is tracking down like the early roots of that and who was involved and who, and they're tracing the roots back to different people. And it was a really, really neat story. I'm not doing it justice. So like, if you have a chance to look it up, it's one of the NPR productions like Reveal or Throughline or something like that. Yeah. But it was really, really nice episode and it was really cool. So they're doing a whole series apparently on it. So anyway, that was that.
No, I find that whole topic interesting. Like I remember shock and disgust when I learned that the police were originally formed as a way of capturing escaped slaves.
Yeah,
that is the roots of American police.
As much as I dislike some social media these days, as far as like how it breaks us all apart, it has also brought to light so many things that I would have never known about without it.
Right.
That, there's the good and the bad, right? Like we all live in our own little bubbles of some type, right?
Sure.
And it's been nice in my lifetime to recognize that there are these other bubbles that I didn't know about and to learn about them and understand where people are coming from better. Like that's what I really enjoy about online communities and things like that. So
yeah, toward that end, an argument that I've been seeing is that like on Black Twitter, you'll see a lot of people say, we've been telling you this for ages, and it's not that I doubt that. I'm sure that they have been, but the problem is that before social media, I was not ever in a position to hear that they've been telling me this for ages.
Yeah.
And it's nice that I finally believe them. It's not that I didn't believe them that these things were happening.
You just never even
I
knew
never even knew.
Right.
So that's one way I'm so grateful for social media to bring this kind of stuff to light. And I wish that it didn't even have to be there in the first place.
Well, obviously. Yeah. No, these stories are that they bring out are just terrible and it's hard for me to believe, but obviously I do believe them. When I say it's hard for me to believe, I'm just shocked. Like the stories are so appalling to me that I'm like, why is this not like front page news every fucking day?
Right.
I don't get it. Like this is insane.
And well, we've talked about this before too, where when we say it's hard to believe, what we mean is it's hard to reconcile with the idea of America that we grew up with as children versus what we learn more and more and more as adults. I mean, it's why we're so...
I think we talked a lot about that on our 50th episode podcast, where we kind of went into depth a little bit about why we're doing this and who we are and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's hard to reconcile versus what we grew up with and knew growing up.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah,
that
sure.
whole proud to be an American.
Yeah, the Lee Greenwood version of America. Right.
Right.
Yep.
Sorry, we really went off
on
topic.
A tangent there.
As we do.
Right.
So they seized her. The guards seized Athaliah.
Yeah.
And led her out to the gate where horses entered the palace grounds, and she was killed there.
Okay.
So they did
thank
kill
God
her.
they made it to the fucking palace gates and killed her there. Yeah, that's so much better than the temple.
You know what? I have no problem with that, honestly.
But man, that was a quick usurping.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, let's form up. Dead.
Right.
She must not have been wielding much power, but she seemed like she was. She was killing a lot of people for like 6 or 7 years.
Right.
And then just out of nowhere, they're like, we're going to go kill her now.
Right. They clearly didn't like her.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, if she was murderous, but had a lot of supporters because otherwise she was doing great things.
Yeah.
They would have let that shit slide.
Right.
But not only was she murderous, she was obviously not well loved.
Right.
So,
I mean, if she was
you can only be Meghan McCain so much before somebody's going to come for you.
I guess she should have been more like Jehu, who just killed fucking everybody,
across the board. Then Jehoiada made a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people that they would be the Lord's people.
Well, I mean, it's about time.
I know,
they haven't been the Lord's people for like eons.
Decades, centuries.
Right, yeah.
He also made a covenant between the king and the people. And all the people of the land went over to the temple of Baal and tore it down.
Oh, wow. Well, I got to ask here, though. You can't really sign a contract until you're 18. This kid's like 7 years old.
Okay, you're talking about American rules in 2022.
I'm just saying.
This is fucking BCE.
You're making a 7-year-old basically sign a God contract, right? And what the fuck does he know? I mean, he doesn't even know, like, what's God,
Okay, clearly this is his caretakers doing this. Yeah. And they tore down Baal's temple.
Right, badass.
Which is...
I guess.
Yeah, for a second, I'm like, yeah, go team. And then I'm like, wait, I'm not really on your team, though.
No, I don't give a... you all are just killing each other all the time because
your religion's not a lot better.
Wow, you're all stupid.
Right, but, I forget. I get excited,
because we're reading the Bible. We're reading it from the winner's perspective, right? So, we're reading it from the side that wants us to cheer for this team.
Right.
So we're like, yay, oh, wait, no, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. They demolished the altars and smashed the idols to pieces, and they killed Matan, the priest of Baal. Okay, there's a Q&A.
Yeah, who the fuck is that guy?
Matan, the priest of Baal.
They mentioned him by name, so he must be somebody.
In front of the altars. Okay, I'll be looking that dude up for Q&A Saturday.
Definitely.
Jehoiada,
make sure you take a note this time.
Yeah, fuck off. Jehoiada the priest stationed guards at the temple of the Lord. Then the commanders, the Karaite mercenaries, the palace guards, and all the people of the land escorted the king from the temple of the Lord. Period. Sorry. That sentence was weird.
Okay.
And the period was on the next line.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So I was thinking it was still going and period. They went through the gate of the guards and into the palace, and the king took his seat on the royal throne.
I wonder how small he was in the seat.
This little boy on this
I'm
big
imagining
old...
Joffrey from
I know, right?
What was that show? The
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Yeah, sorry, it's been a while since we watched it.
Jesus.
Yeah, just real small kid there sitting on the throne.
I know, and we've mentioned the show now, so just while we're here real quick, do you have any interest in watching the new one?
Not particularly.
It's a prequel, House of the Dragon or some shit?
If I started watching it, I probably would watch it, but I don't have any direct interest in it, I guess.
Have you heard any, usually you'll come home and be like, people at work are talking about it, we gotta watch it.
I have not heard anybody talking about it.
What was it, the lion... No, what was it? The Tiger King.
Oh, God, everybody started talking about that.
That's what I'm saying.
That was at the beginning of the pandemic, and we were just looking for anything to watch.
No, I know, but you came home and I was like, I'm not doing it. And you were like, but everybody's talking about it. And I was like, absolutely not. And then you were like, they're talking about it. And then I kept hearing everybody on all the podcasts I listened to were talking. I was like, God damn it, I guess I'm watching the fucking Tiger King.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I was just curious.
Forced into that one.
That and The Mandalorian.
Oh,
same thing.
I do not
like that show.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, look.
We've got 3 sentences left, but no, let's do this.
So, the Mandalorian, right? The scenery as far as the Star Wars world was so fucking cool. Like it had
really good.
It had a lot of potential with like the set and everything. I
even kind of like the characterization that this is the way.
Yeah, but the story was just like so.
It was the script. I don't think it was the story was okay. It was the script.
Yeah, it just felt like we were watching like Hercules or Xena or something.
That's exactly
like
what
the
it felt like.
3 in the morning, stupid shows that are on.
It's fun, but it's stupid.
Okay, not that I didn't enjoy watching Hercules when there was nothing else on. But it's still fucking Hercules.
When you're watching Hercules and Xena, and you know what? Let's not even talk about Hercules because Kevin Sorbo can totally eat my ass, okay?
Yeah, totally.
But, Lucy Lawless is the bomb, okay?
Right.
So let's forget Hercules and only talk about Xena.
Yeah, okay, no more. We will never mention Hercules again.
Ever again.
Yeah.
Okay? So Xena is the funnest and coolest show, right?
Yeah.
But even at the end of that, you're like, that was silly and fun.
Right.
That was silly and dumb, but fun.
Yeah, but like Mandalorian tried to take itself more serious.
That's the problem. I was like, you got to pick a lane.
Yeah, you can't do that when you're not serious. So
yeah.
Just whatever. Get over yourselves, guys.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic of Star Wars, I didn't love the what's his name? The one that came after that, Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't love that.
It wasn't. I was all right with it.
I liked it better than The Mandalorian, but that's not saying a lot. I didn't care for it. I didn't think it was great.
I think that Disney is just out to make a buck off fucking Star Wars franchise.
Yes, they are.
I think so.
Yes, they are.
But whatever. That's my take. I'm sure we'll probably lose like 20 people that listen to our podcast over this because, Star Wars. Because Star Wars.
I mean, if you're going to not listen to our podcast
there's
because
a lot of better
we disagree
reasons.
about Star Wars, like, okay, but Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie ever. And I'm just I'll go to my death on that.
Okay.
Rogue One brought me to tears because I am a sucker for personal sacrifice, and those people, they gave their lives.
Here, I'll lose us some followers. My favorite character is Jar Jar Binks.
Fuck off. No, it's not. He's lying. Nobody likes Jar Jar Binks. Fuck off. Oh my God. Oh, there's a new Star Wars show starting soon called Andor. Are you interested?
I mean, if I at this point, because there's so many of them coming out, I'm almost going to wait for people to say that one's awesome or something, right?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
So we had 3 sentences left.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, we had to talk about Star Wars for a minute. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's important. That's important shit.
Right. So they put the kid on the throne. The royal throne. What was it called in Game of Thrones? It was
I don't remember.
Sword
throne. The blade of sword of the throne of blades. Throne of.
What the fuck was it called?
I don't know.
God damn it!
I don't remember.
Skulls and swords and bones and skeletons and shields and what the fuck was it called?
Are we gonna get to these last 3 sentences or just talk about the goddamn throne?
I need to know what that throne was called.
Well, we'll look it up later and then we'll just come back and let people know.
Okay. Well,
tomorrow.
They're yelling at us right now going, it's blah, 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 idiot. God damn it.
Goddamn, what's wrong with you?
I know. Sorry. I'm not a real fan. Whatever. So all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was peaceful because Athaliah had been killed at the king's palace. Joash was 7 years old when he became king. The end.
Okay.
That's happened.
They rejoiced. Yay.
Yay. Kid king
More dead people.
Bomb.
And we have a kid as a king.
Woot, woot.
It's going to be good times. And
the Dalai Lama is...
We'll live happily ever after until we don't, and then God will hate this kid too or something. So
yeah,
yay.
I'm sure that he will do bad and do evil in the Lord's eyes.
Yeah, because they all fucking do, apparently.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Nobody can be David.
No, yeah,
fuck David.
David was kind of shit too. I'm just saying.
He was a lot of shit.
We went over that when he was a king too. So, but yeah, that's pretty much that.
Yep.
All right. So that was 2 Kings chapter 11, and tomorrow we will be back with
2 Kings chapter 12.
We'll see you guys then.
Peace out. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
I remember that we went off on a lot of tangents.
We sure did.
We talked about fucking everything.
We talked about Star Wars and TV shows and Xena.
Right? Yeah. But I think there was like a mom that got pissed off about something.
Athaliah?
Athaliah?
Yeah.
Okay. And she got mad. She killed a lot of people because she was like, fuck you.
Because her son was killed.
Right.
So she took the throne.
But then she was like killing royalty, and like one of the royal kids escaped, and they hid him in like a room for like 6 years.
Okay, the royal kid was a baby.
It was a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby.
It was like a Moses age type of thing.
Right. And he hid away in a room for like 6 years.
And then when he was 7,
they called all the king's men and all the king's horses.
All the king's horses and all the king's men, and they put that kingdom back together again.
Yeah, and then they killed Athaliah.
Yeah. But they had to drag her out because they didn't want to kill her inside the palace?
No, it wasn't. They killed her in the palace. I think they didn't want to kill her in the churchy place.
Room,
what do you call it?
The altar.
Fuck, I'm scared.
What was it called?
Failing here. I can't even remember what they called them.
Palace grounds is where they killed her.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't want to kill her in the temple of the Lord.
Yeah, the temple. Why can't I think of the temple?
The
Jesus.
temple.
We've only said the temple so many times, like in this book. Like it's used all the time.
We're stupid.
I mean, there's that. So.
And so then they took down all of the pagan stuff, the altars to Baal and all that.
Yeah.
They got rid of all those.
Right. And supposedly they're going to be right with God now and stuff.
Because they made that kid read those words.
Right. Also, this is completely separate subject here, but I want to apologize.
You are so sorry.
I am so sorry.
You are sorry.
I accidentally uploaded an episode from 2 Samuel as the main section of our podcast for yesterday's episode.
I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard.
It's fixed now. I think. I mean, it may not be fixed everywhere, but it's fixed, where I can fix it.
Yeah.
And
if the place where you're listening is still showing the wrong thing,
yeah, go over to Anchor. You can listen to it there for sure.
That's your platform's fault,
right? Or YouTube. Point. I know it's fixed on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was my bad. It's all fixed now. I had somebody call me out on it on Twitter, so thank you for that. I really fucked up.
Oopsie doodles.
Yeah, and I should have got their name because I can't. I almost have it in my head. Like I know them when they talk to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that. I know them. Yeah. But like I can't remember their name right now as I'm speaking, and I should have had that ready.
You should have.
But regardless, thank you for the help, and I appreciate you letting us know. So, all right. So anyway, that was 2 Kings chapter 11.
It sure as fuck was.
Unless of course you were listening to 2 Samuel. But. Today we're going to be getting into 2 Kings chapter 12. Oh, shit. What are we getting into?
2 Kings chapter 12.
Sorry, I got carried away there.
You sure as fuck did.
I did.
You need to get your shit together, sir.
I will get my shit together.
You get your shit together. Get off of my shit.
Well, look, we were going to do a live stream tonight, and then I broke equipment. And I was like, fucking hell.
You did. You pulled the thing down, and you go, fuck! Yeah. I broke it!
And it's too bad nobody was on the live stream yet, but you would have had a real fun time listening to me, like, dropping my goddamn phone a million times.
And you were like, I'm gonna break something! God damn it!
And then I did.
It was kind of funny.
It was something, anyway.
It was funny, and I'm over there trying to stay out of your way and not laugh at you, but...
So the live streaming thing that we're trying to do on YouTube every night is going to have to maybe be paused for a couple of days while I figure out a better method to do this because I kind of suck at it apparently.
Well, when you say every night, you mean we did it that one time?
We did it that one time, but we were planning on doing it nightly.
Yeah, because it was fun. It worked out. It was good.
So now I just need to, dig into Google and figure out what the fuck I'm doing. And
buy some better shit.
And yeah, that too. So, I mean.
Oops, sorry. Okay, thanks, bye.
Did I mention we have a Patreon?
Yeah, oh yeah. Help!
Yeah, right, yeah. All right, we're going to get into the next chapter here again, which is...
2 Kings chapter 12, asshole.
Let's do this.
Okay, so before we get into our book, our chapter.
Our chapter, yeah.
The thing that we do.
Right.
That thing where we're reading the Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
We wanted to give a shout out, I think, to somebody that we really like a lot.
Yeah. No, first of all, it's our new Patreon. It's our new patron.
Our new patron is an awesome person.
Yeah, and we actually, I think, I don't know if we talked about this before, but we talked about somewhere I think we made a new friend when we went down to the Louisville convention.
The Louisville
the
Free Thought Convention.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, his name is Stephen Hines.
The author, Stephen
Hines.
Yes.
Right. And he wrote a book about his journey from, being a Christian to not being a Christian. And
what's the name of the book?
The name of the book is called Rebirth Defect.
Which, I mean, that's a badass. But what's the subtitle?
So like his little pitch for it is, it's my journey from, well, not mine, his journey from Catholic altar boy to teen atheist to adult Christian metal evangelist and back to atheism. Read the book that Read the book that is rumored to have given the Pope an aneurysm. Available in paperback and audiobook through Amazon.
And we have purchased the Audible.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to start it because
I'm starting it tomorrow.
I'm excited because I read his comic book.
Yeah, he has comic books too. That's amazing.
Zombie Fabulous. Oh my God, you guys. It is so fucking awesome. So we are so humbled and honored to have him as a patron.
Right.
Stephen Hines, check him out. He's fantastic. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, and I'm going to put a link to his book in the description of the podcast. So if you want to go there to check it out, feel free to, and just click on the link. Take you right there.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yep. All right. So you ready to go ahead and get into our episode then?
I am. 2 Kings chapter 12.
All right.
Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Don't forget, they just killed a bunch of fucking people.
She killed a bunch of people, and then they killed
her, and then they got rid of all of the Baal and all of the altars and shit.
Right. But they didn't kill a bunch of people yet.
Well, I mean,
not yet.
I have a feeling, though.
I mean, there's a lot of death and killing in this book, so yeah. I mean, it's a safe bet.
I have a feeling that the way it's going to go is that they didn't just knock down some altars. I think they probably did some business.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion. You don't just knock down altars. You also kill the followers.
Right.
That's just my opinion based on what I've read thus far.
Yeah.
So here we go. Joash began to rule over Judah in the 7th year of King Jehu's reign in Israel. He reigned in Jerusalem 40 years. His mother was Zibiah from Beersheba. All his life, Joash did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight.
Oh, wow.
Because Jehoiada, the priest, instructed him.
Oh, okay.
Yet even so, he did not destroy the pagan shrines, and the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there.
Why didn't he destroy those then?
Womp womp.
Like if he's doing everything godly, why wouldn't he destroy those?
Because they're like, he's good, but he's not good.
He's not perfect.
He's no David.
Right.
One day, King Joash said to the priests, Hey, collect all the money brought as a sacred offering to the Lord's temple, whether it is a regular assessment or a payment of vows or a voluntary gift.
Okay.
Let the priest take some of that money to pay for whatever repairs are needed at the temple.
Oh, so tithings.
Tithings for building repairs.
Yeah.
But by the 23rd year of Joash's reign, the priest still had not repaired the temple. What they do with the money?
He was laundering that shit, man. He was like taking that, he's stashing it somewhere.
He was buying yachts.
Right.
Because that's how they do.
I'm saying, like, he's got some fucking...
But you know what? I don't think it was the king, because listen to this.
Okay.
So King Joash called for Jehoiada and the other priests and was like, the fuck? Why haven't you repaired the temple?
Right.
Don't use any more money for your own needs, assholes. From now on, it must all be spent on temple repairs.
Right.
But wait, that was 23 years before he called him on it.
Right. But it's funny to me that, like, we're still to this day, we're arguing about, like, taxing churches because, I mean, they're ridiculously, like, some of these churches are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they have millions of dollars as the fucking pastors and whatever. They're these televangelist type people. And it's insane. We're not taxing them because they're fucking religious. No, fuck that. They're fucking uber rich. And they're getting away with it because they're a quote-unquote church.
And they're fleecing their followers, robbing them, and they're grifters.
And the funny thing is, it was happening back then in the fucking Old Testament. It was already happening.
Yep.
So, like, why would we believe it's any different?
Jesus had problems with that. Like, we know when we get into the New Testament that Jesus is going to have issues with that.
Right.
And all the Christians today seem to have missed that part of Jesus' message.
Yeah.
Or didn't miss it so much as didn't give a fuck because they ain't real Christians.
I love the Christian pastors that are actually really popular, but they try to act like they wear blue jeans on the stage, and they're like, but they're they're still rich, right? Like they there's this one guy, I can't remember what his name is. I think it's Greg Locke. Yeah. And he is always like, he's wearing like blue jeans and like t-shirts and shit. And he's always bitching about like, Joel Osteen and the other preachers that are all rich and, wonderful. But he is the same thing, just
he understands how to play the part better.
He's disguised.
But he got them manicured nails.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So the priests agreed not to accept any more money from the people. And they also agreed to let others take responsibility for repairing the temple. No, what happened was they got busted and were like, okay.
Yeah.
Then Jehoiada the priest bored a hole in the lid of a large chest and set it on the right-hand side of the altar at the entrance of the temple of the Lord. The priests guarding the entrance put all of the people's contributions into the into the chest.
Okay.
Whenever the chest became full, the court secretary and the high priest counted the money that had been brought to the Lord's temple and put it into bags. Then they gave the money to the construction supervisors who used it to pay the people working on the Lord's temple. The carpenters, the builders, the masons, and the stonecutters. Mm-hmm. They also used the money to buy the timber and the finished stone needed for repairing the Lord's temple, and they paid any other expenses related to the temple's restoration. So they got busted and then they fixed it.
But they got away with it for 23 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
the money brought to the temple was not used for making silver bowls, lamp snuffers, basins, trumpets, or other articles of gold or silver for the temple of the Lord. It was paid to the workmen who used it for temple repairs, as it should be.
Yeah. None of that fancy shit. You just gotta pay for them repairs.
Just get the plumbing in good order,
right?
Okay?
Yeah.
Make the lights go on.
Right.
Put the windows, get glass in those windows. No accounting of this money was required from the construction supervisors because they were honest and trustworthy men.
I don't know about. I mean, like, why
were they?
Why should we believe that?
Were they though?
Right?
I don't know that.
So, like, that's like saying that my company is honest and trustworthy.
Is it?
Like, I could say on a general level, like, sure, they don't try to outright screw me over. But, like, if I didn't clock in for, like, 20 minutes and I told them about it and they forgot to punch it in, they're not going to go out of the way to fix that.
No.
So honest and trustworthy is subjective there. It's not exactly a...
Insofar as they didn't get caught doing anything they shouldn't have.
Maybe they were mostly
Maybe they were good insofar as it was easy.
But I bet they took advantage of some shit.
I'm sure they did.
They're just being tossed money and they're like, oh, they're good. They're good.
Okay, look, even the best employee takes a pen from work and brings home.
Right.
And we all fill out on the survey that no, we would never, but we all do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, every time I saw that question, like, how they have those questions where, like, would you ever steal from, work, including a pen? And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I would.
Of course I would. And
I've done it multiple times.
Is this a trick? Because I would. Because you would. You who typed up this questionnaire.
You probably have a fucking pen from work at your house right now.
You probably typed this up. You probably took a ream of paper home when you were printing this shit out and were like, nobody will notice.
Right. Exactly.
Because they won't.
Right.
And I'm not saying I never took a ream of paper, but you took toilet paper from work once. From a place that you worked.
Well, I mean, it was during the pandemic and toilet paper was scarce. So, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get some just in case. So
you did. You brought home a couple rolls and we needed it. We used it.
Yeah, because it was very scarce.
It was tight pooping right there for a while. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I always take a pen. And I hate that those surveys make me lie. They force me to lie. And I don't think that I should be made to feel guilty because let me tell you how many times that I brought my own pens to work that got taken by other coworkers or their children who played with my color pens.
Or how many times does your company take advantage of your time or your availability or whatever? Like they definitely go the other way with it too.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like I should make them fill out a survey.
Right.
Like, no, okay, I won't take your pen, but do you promise that you ain't gonna bitch at me if I clock out early or if I stay late? You aren't gonna be like, well, we can't pay you overtime. You were not approved of this. No, fuck the fuck off because you make me stay because I can't just walk out in the middle of speaking to a customer.
Right.
But don't tell me that I'm not going to get paid for finishing that goddamn conversation that I'm required to finish.
Right, right.
So fuck the fuck off. Yes, I stole your goddamn pen and you stole my time and we are not even square.
Right.
You still owe me by my count.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry. So companies ain't right.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
And
we might have a few opinions about that.
We might. As a matter of fact, one of the upcoming Patreon episodes that I wanted to do is about corporate abuse and how it is emotional abuse.
Right.
And how some of the things that are said and done to people, if you said it without the context and somebody thought that it was like your partner, they would literally be like, oh, you need to break up with him.
Right, yeah.
Like, my sister literally brought that to my attention at the last place I worked.
Yeah.
I was, like, telling her, oh, I need to do this and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, why? They don't appreciate you. And I'm like, because, I feel like, it's important, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you care more than they do. That's emotional abuse.
Right.
They're gaslighting your ass.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, anyways, I feel like that's an important episode that we will discuss at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
However, continuing.
Yes.
The money that was contributed for guilt offerings and sin offerings was not brought into the Lord's temple. It was given to the priests for their own use.
Okay. I mean, I guess that was cleared. That's good. We're okay there.
That way, I guess.
I wonder if they ever just slid a little bit from the other offering into the, the guilt and sin offering. They're like, we'll just take a little bit there and put it in this one. Who's gonna know?
There's no security cameras.
Right. Yeah. Right.
There's nobody.
No one will know.
There's no social media. You're not going to get caught.
And they were obviously doing it before, so I guarantee at least a little bit still ended up, slushed over.
Of course it did. About this time, King Hazael of Aram went to war against Gath and captured it.
Oh, okay.
Then he turned to attack Jerusalem.
Oh, that asshole.
King Joash collected all the sacred objects that Jehoshaphat, Jehoram, and Ahaziah, the previous kings of Judah, had dedicated, along with what he himself had dedicated. He sent them all to Hazael, along with all the gold in the treasuries of the Lord's temple and the royal palace.
Okay.
So Hazael called off his attack on Jerusalem.
Because he's like, there's nothing there to steal.
I guess.
Right?
I guess. The rest of the events in Joash's reign and everything he did are recorded in
the Book of Chronicles, Kings, whatever shit thing that we can't see on there. So
that we're not allowed to see in this.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Joash's officers plotted against him and assassinated him at Beth Millo on the road to Silla.
That didn't work out very well for him.
I don't know what the road to Silla is.
And why?
Yeah. The assassins were Josachar of Shemeath, or son of Shemeath, and Jehozabad, son of Shomer, both trusted advisors.
Oh, no.
Joash was buried with his ancestors in the city of David. Then his son Amaziah became the next king. The end.
Okay, so...
People were robbing, and then they stopped robbing, and then they robbed some more, and then then a king died and was replaced by his son. The end.
Right, I mean, there's got to be more. Like, that's they always just throw these things out like that, and I'm like, there's got to be more to the story, right? Like, some king dies and his son gets anointed king, but like, why did they kill him? Did they kill him because they're working with his son? Or, like, there's got to be some sort of, like, nefarious thing going on behind somewhere, because you don't just kill somebody just to kill them.
Right.
There's got to be some reason behind it.
His officers plotted against him.
Why do we never get to know the fucking reason?
I don't know. They didn't like him.
They leave that shit out.
They didn't like him. They wanted more money for their yachts.
Right.
I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So.
All right.
I guess. Whatever.
Well, that was 2 Kings chapter 12. And tomorrow we'll be going over
2 Kings chapter 13.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
The Bible finally admitted that the priests are grifty motherfuckers.
That's not what I was going to say happened, but you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
What were you going to say happened?
I was going to say that the king demanded that the priests collect money to fix the building and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, like, 20 some odd years later, they still hadn't fixed anything. And he was like, God damn it.
Yeah, grifty motherfuckers.
Yeah. And so then finally they started to fix stuff. And then A few years later, he was assassinated. The end.
Yeah. That's pretty much the gist of it.
And we couldn't figure out why, but now that we're putting it in these terms, I think it's because they wanted to be allowed to grift.
I mean, it seems that might be possible.
The whole chapter was about fix this shit and stop grifting.
Do you remember how they said he was like good with God? Like this guy was good with God, right? Sort of. But then not really, kind of, sort of.
Because maybe? He didn't get rid of the other altars to Baal.
We can't make him be perfect, so he didn't do this thing.
Yeah.
And then he got assassinated. So we're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was 2 Kings chapter 12.
It was.
And today we're getting into
2 Kings chapter 13.
Let's do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 13.
Okay.
Jehoahaz.
Yeah.
Son of Jehu. Began to rule over Israel in the 23rd year of King Joash's reign in Judah.
Okay.
See, we're going back and forth between the two.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay? Yeah.
That's what we've been doing. The whole book of Kings is.
Right. It's a little bit confusing.
It is. I stopped kind of paying attention to what country we're in.
I know, right?
And to what reign who is doing.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's not easy to follow.
Right.
And the stories don't really...
Like, I don't understand why they're saying, this guy in Judah did this, and then in Israel, this guy did that, and then in Israel, this guy did this, and then in Judah, that, like...
It just seems kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, so what?
I understand they're trying to give the history of the two simultaneously.
Right, but there was a lot easier way to do this. Like, yeah, there was a lot of kings, and then they, some shit happened, and...
It almost would have been better if they emulated the begats and just did, and this king and that king.
Not that I want to do begats again, but...
No, but... I don't know. They're just
something similar to that, though, like in a better storytelling mode. But
or give us all of the Judahs and then all of the Israel.
Yeah, that might be a better way to do it.
Or I don't know, maybe a side-by-side chart. Because I feel like that's what they're trying to do is give us a side-by-side chart. But because we're only reading a chapter per night, I don't know where we are in the chart anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't care which country we're in. Judah, Israel, whatever.
Right.
Not to be rude,
if it's important, they'll tell us, right?
Well, not to be rude, but I don't really see much of a difference because it's all the same. And they're the same people that are just like at odds with each other currently.
Right.
And don't they kind of like wrap it back up together at some point?
I think so. I mean, there certainly is an Israel now. So,
right.
I mean, at least, at the very least, they wrapped it up by now.
Yeah.
Somewhat, I guess.
I don't know. It just seems like who cares?
Right.
Which,
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm just here for the stories, man.
Yeah. Like, I don't really care if this event happened in Judah versus Israel.
It just doesn't seem very relevant to, like, the whole religion aspect of this.
Right. And so, again, I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't care.
Right. No, I get you. Okay. I'm finding myself lacking,
like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just, like, in one ear and out the other. Kind of like how when I used to read history a long time ago when I was in school and I just didn't really care.
I mean, I like history, but this is not told in the way that I like.
No, that's what I mean.
So,
this
I don't know.
harkens back to my school days when it's like, try harder. You know?
This is just like, memorize these kings in this order and...
For no reason.
And everything. And then,
I think that's what it is. For no reason.
Right.
You know?
There's no payoff.
Right. Who cares? Okay. Anyways, this one king guy over here, he reigned in Samaria 17 years. Okay. This Jehoahaz guy.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
I know haven't we talked about him before?
I thought we did.
Jehoahaz what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we did. See, that's another thing. Like, all of their names start with J now. I literally cannot tell them apart. Like, I can't remember
it is very
who
difficult.
they are.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
They went through, like, their S phase, and now they're in their J phase.
Yeah, I was just going to say, remember when we had, like, Saul versus Samuel?
Right,
and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't with these guys.
Right.
And Solomon.
Right.
Saul, Solomon, Samuel, like, I can't.
Right.
When they do that, like, that's one of the cardinal rules in fiction writing. I don't know if you're aware.
Don't don't use the same letters.
Yeah. Right. Don't use names that sound similar, because readers like me in particular have a very hard time differentiating them.
Well, they really fucked up with Elijah and Elijah.
Yeah. No kidding. I mean, nowadays, if you read a book and they have similar names, it's on purpose, right, because there's something to the fact that they have names that can be easily confused. Yep. And you know that it's the Chekhov's gun of fiction, you know?
Got it.
You know it going in.
Right.
But, okay, sorry, off topic because I'm bored.
Yeah.
But Jehoahaz, did what was evil in the Lord's sight.
Oh, no.
He followed the example of Jeroboam, son of Nebat.
You know, I also am a little sick of that, because it doesn't seem to matter either.
No.
Like, it doesn't matter whether they're good or evil. They all die.
They all get assassinated. And, they all aren't David. Yeah,
and, like, God doesn't, like, God will team up with good or bad. It doesn't matter.
It's like, willy-nilly.
There's no rhyme or reason to, like, what they're doing.
Who cares?
It's like, yeah.
I mean, you tell me he's evil, it's like, I'll be the judge of that. What did he really do? You know? I mean, because you know what? You told me that this guy was good, and he didn't strike me as so good. So I guess that's another thing. Like, I have a hard time believing you.
And generally, the evil comes down to them worshiping, Baal or some other god.
Right.
And it's
exactly.
like, well, I don't really give a fuck. So.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt me. I don't care. So the good weren't that great, and the bad weren't that evil, except for when they killed a lot of people and raped and had slaves.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, he acted like Jeroboam. Continuing the sins that Jeroboam had led Israel to commit was the rest of that sentence.
Got it.
So the Lord was very angry with Israel.
Not that.
And he allowed... Is there
going to be a famine?
Probably.
Or a drought? Or both?
Probably.
Okay.
Lots of frogs or something.
No, he hasn't done frogs frogs was with Moses.
He just did it that one time. Yeah. He allowed King Hazael of Aram and his son Ben-Hadad to defeat them repeatedly. God damn it.
Why would you need them to defeat you repeatedly? Wouldn't they just enslave you after the first time they defeat you?
They kept going to war, and they kept losing.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, but apparently not bad not bad enough to lose.
No, they would just
bad enough to
pack it up and go home, and then put on their snowshoes.
Or maybe they were like, the other side was like, let's finish him off another day.
Yeah,
let's just toy with him for a bit and see what happens. You know,
the new season of Game of Thrones or whatever is on.
You said that like the last episode.
We gotta get home to watch TV.
Yeah, right. Oh, you're saying, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Then Jehoahaz prayed for the Lord's help, and the Lord heard his prayer. For he could see how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel.
Right? Okay? Yeah, he could see that, because he sees everything.
He could see that after the dude prayed.
He sees everything.
Yeah, after the dude prayed.
Right.
So the Lord provided someone to rescue the Israelites from the tyranny of the Arameans.
Someone, huh?
Someone.
Okay.
Then Israel lived in safety again as they had in former days. Yay.
Wait, they're not going to, like, if someone rescues you, I would expect that to be a story. Like, I want to know who that someone is.
Some guy.
Just some guy.
Some rando.
Okay.
You don't need to know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
All right. Did he have a rock and a sling?
Probably.
Yeah, right.
But they continued to sin, those fuckers.
Right.
Following the evil example of Jeroboam. Still, some more again.
And he couldn't know that ahead of time?
I guess not.
He wasn't all-knowing. He didn't actually foresee that happening.
Either that or he foresaw it but didn't care.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, like, you're allowed to, like, be bad in God's eye, and then
he'll
pray
help you,
one day and just be like, dude, I need some fucking help, man. And then he'll help you.
And then you still
And then you just go away again, and you're like, I'm going to be bad again. Sorry, bye.
Yay! Being bad is awesome.
Right, yeah.
They also allowed the Asherah pole in Samaria to remain standing.
Oh, damn.
Womp, womp. You know about those damn Asherah poles.
Yeah, that's God's wife. He doesn't like... Apparently, they got a divorce.
Yeah.
Something.
Finally, Jehoahaz's army was reduced to 50 charioteers, 10 chariots, and only 10,000 foot soldiers.
I don't even... that means nothing to me.
I mean, it would be like if you said, I wrote 10 sentences, and it was hell. Like,
now, I know the Israelites at one point had like 300,000, warriors or something like that, but like, I don't know how many the other side had. Like, in relation to what?
Right.
Like, how many soldiers is that in relation to?
It's like if you told me about giants, and I would be like, but were they, though?
Right,
Or were they just really tall?
Yeah.
The king of Aram had killed the others, trampling them like dust under his feet. The rest of the event, I always crush dust under my feet.
Well, I mean, it's already crushed, so there's not much crushing left to do.
What would you crush under your feet?
I mean, probably I crush some ants occasionally.
Do you crush them, though?
Well, yeah, they have that exoskeleton, so I'm assuming that there's a little bit of a crunch.
You crushed a fly last night.
I did. Oh, that's gross.
You were trying...
I wasn't expecting it to happen.
No, you were doing that thing where you, like, wave at a fly to go away, and then you, like, did your hands like you were going to catch it, but not really, because who catches a fly, right?
Right, yeah.
And then you actually crushed it between your hands,
yeah.
And you were so geeked out, you were like, ah!
Yeah, no, it was gross.
Awesome.
That was gross.
It was gross and awesome at the same time.
Then I knocked out a fly twice tonight.
You did?
Yeah.
Which makes it sound like we have a lot of flies in our house,
I mean,
which at this moment we kind of do, and I don't like it. Where'd they all come from?
I think it's, I don't,
Is
I
it
have
like
no
the
idea.
end of summer? Like, is that what happens?
It is, but it's still hot out, so I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I
they
don't
just
know.
have like a timing sense that they're supposed to be heading indoors.
I don't recall having flies like this last year, though.
I don't know.
Or maybe I just block it out.
Probably just block it out. Yeah.
We don't have flies all the time, you guys, just so you know.
No,
Like,
no.
we don't have, like, a house of flies. Like, it's just, like, I don't know, the last week we've had some flies in here.
Right.
It ain't cool.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This is so boring that I just keep going off topic.
I noticed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it together. The rest of the events in Jehoahaz's reign, everything he did, and the extent of his power are recorded in
the book
that
we
don't
have
have
listed there at the end of that sentence.
The end of the sentence is blank.
The Chronicles of Kings or Kings of Chronicles.
The Kingly Chronicles of Kings.
Yeah, that.
The chronically kingship.
Yeah.
Things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're recorded there. When Jehoahaz died, he was buried in Samaria. Then his son Jehoahash became the next... Jehoahaz.
Went from Jehoahaz to Jehoahash.
No, you know what? I apologize. I mispronounced that. It's Jehoash.
Jehoash, but still Jehoahaz to Jehoash.
Jehoash.
That's so, like, it's just so boring. Like, how...
Too many J's. Too many J's.
Yeah.
Jehoash became the next king.
It's almost like they want us to glaze over this bit, you know?
And it made me yawn just now.
Right.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, so Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, began to rule over Israel in the 37th year of King Joash's reign in Judah. See, it's too many J's and ashes.
Wait, who's the 37th year of whose?
Joash.
I thought Joash just took over.
No, Jehoash took over
in the 37th year of Joash's.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying.
That's some fucking bullshit right there.
It's garbage.
That is garbage.
Okay, when I rewrite this book, I'm giving them different names.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, but like,
I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to name them something different, like Larry and...
You know what? You should just have asterisks. Or that.
You said asterisks.
Help me.
It's asterisk.
Asterisk. Thank you.
Oh my God.
It's how I grew up. I don't know. I got no.
I just will never forget that time we were at your mom's house and you and your mom and your brother were talking about some business thing.
Yeah.
And you kept saying, all three of you were asterisks. And I finally just exploded and I said, oh my God, you guys, it's asterisk. And all three of you looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You know what? You say anyways all the fucking time.
I say anyways, but I say anyways on purpose because it irritates you.
Yeah,
and
it really
also
does.
It is such an Ohio thing. And then I read this beautiful poem and this woman talked about the Midwest and how it like harkens back to her people and anyways. Yeah. And also Jack O'Brien on the Daily Zeitgeist. He was the co-founder of Cracked. But anyway, on the Daily Zeitgeist, he always says anyways. Yeah. Because he lived in Ohio for a bit too.
Right.
And I just love it.
Live and grew up here my whole life and I don't say anyways.
You don't. But you said crown instead of crayon. So fuck off. And also,
no, let's just stop right there. Let's stop right there.
Got you. Yeah. So I won that round.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Anyway, this dude reigned in Samaria 16 years. But he did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit, and the rest of the events in Jehoash's reign and everything he did, including the extent of his power in his war with King Amaziah of Judah, are recorded in that one book that we're not allowed to know.
Yeah.
When Jehoash died, he was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Then his son Jeroboam the second.
Seriously?
Yep.
Seriously?
Became the next king.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
I can't tell you why.
These people are so dumb.
I can't tell you why. Oh no, baby. I can't tell you why.
You just needed to break it down a song there.
That's from the Eagles.
You are the Eagles. You know the Eagles better than I do.
I only know.
I definitely know that song, but I wouldn't.
I only know the songs from the Long Run.
Ah, okay.
That one album, my parents played over and over and over again, and so I know all the songs on that, and it's the best. The end.
Got it.
Forever.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay.
So next section.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna learn a little bit more about Elisha.
Oh, okay. All right.
When Elisha was in his last illness, King Jehoash of Israel visited him and wept over him.
His last illness. That's an interesting way to put that.
He had so many illnesses.
But this is the last one. He's gonna fucking die.
Look, this is the last time you're gonna get sick. Okay? This is your last illness, my guy. No more.
But maybe I don't want it to be my last illness.
This is your last fucking illness.
I don't.
You don't get any more. This is your last one.
Did God let him know this was going to be his last illness?
Well,
is that how they know?
Apparently it was his last illness, and I don't know if he knew it beforehand. Okay?
Yeah.
My father, I see the chariots and charioteers of Israel, he cried. Elisha told him, get a grip. Just kidding. He didn't say get a grip. He said get a bow and some arrows.
Yeah.
And the king did as he was told. Elisha told him, put your hand on the bow.
Hand on the bow.
On the bow. Are we being euphemistic here?
I don't think so, but you know.
So real bow, not
real
bow like dick. Okay.
I mean that.
Put your hand on my dick.
You're the only person that got from bow to dick there, but
I guarantee you, somebody else was thinking it
before you made that a thing just now.
I guarantee you that somebody else thought, put your hand on my dick instead of put your hand on my bow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I know that at least one other person, you guys help me out here. I know that one other person thought that. Okay, put your hand on my bow. Elijah laid his own hands on the king's hands. Then he commanded, open that eastern window, and he opened it.
Yeah.
Then he said, shoot! So he shot an arrow.
Okay.
Elisha proclaimed, this is the Lord's arrow, an arrow of victory over Aram, for you will completely conquer the Arameans at Aphek. Boom.
Is he gonna shoot the king with that one arrow and that's gonna be it?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
This is stupid.
I mean, it is.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Then he said, now pick up the other arrows and strike them against the ground. That seems stupid.
Right.
So the king picked them up and struck the ground 3 times, but the man of God was angry with him. You should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times, you dumbass, he exclaimed.
Seriously?
Then you would have beaten Aram until it was entirely destroyed.
Oh my God.
Now you will be victorious only 3 times.
Oh my God.
Then Elisha died and was buried. Could you imagine? It's like if I said, baby, tell me you love me. Okay, let's do this. Baby, tell me you love me.
I love you.
You should have told me you love me 10 times, not just one time.
Yeah.
Now I'm only gonna fuck you once instead of 10 times. I mean, right? That's what that amounted to, right? How could you know?
Right.
It's so random.
Yeah, I don't know.
Baby, turn on the light.
It's the light's on, darling.
You should have turned it on 10 times. Now the DP&L bill is going to skyrocket and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Or something.
Right. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Groups of Moabite raiders used to invade the land each spring.
Yeah, that's spring raids, It's a thing.
Spring raids. Yeah, that sounds like a type of deodorant or
It should, yeah. Moab spring raids.
Rabes?
Rabies.
Rabies.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Rabies. Okay. Once, when some Israelites were burying a man, they spied a band of these raiders. So they hastily threw the corpse into the tomb of Elisha and fled. Oh, damn. But as soon as the body touched...
Wait. That indicates to me that Elisha's tomb was just lying open or something?
It's just there. It's just open.
I mean, I guess maybe a tomb could be like a
tomb. It's like a room, isn't it?
A room. Maybe it's a room. Okay.
Yeah, it's not just a hole in the ground.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So they threw it in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They hastily threw the corpse into the tomb of Elisha and fled. But as soon as the body touched Elisha's bones, the dead man fucking revived and jumped up to his goddamn feet.
What the fuck?
Yet again, we've got another resurrection from bones.
What fucking reason? Like what like
bones?
How many goddamn zombies have been created in this goddamn book?
Bones.
This is bullshit.
How
long? We don't know how long he was dead though.
He was dead.
Maybe it was only like 3 days, like Jesus, you know?
Oh my gosh. No, they literally were like, oh shit, get rid of this body right quick. He had just died.
Yeah.
So yeah, King Hazael.
No, the guy, Elisha is the one that resurrected.
No, the guy. Look, you misheard this.
Oh,
they threw the corpse of this person into the tomb of Elisha and fled. But as soon as the body touched Elisha's bones, the dead man revived and jumped to his feet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, just by touching Elisha's bones.
Wow, that's some magic right there.
That's magic bones,
right? Magic bones.
Yeah.
I misunderstood that. Sorry.
I know you did.
It was my bad.
It was dumb. Like, why would you think that this body of this rando would bring Elisha back to life?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know.
No.
But still, magic bones is still ridiculous.
No, Elisha had magic bones.
Right.
And he brought...
That's what I'm saying.
...this rando back to life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So rando is
They're
alive
magic
now.
fucking bones. They brought this dude back to life.
Yeah. King Hazael of Aram had oppressed Israel during the entire reign of King Jehoahaz. But the Lord was gracious and merciful to the people of Israel, and they were not totally destroyed.
Well,
not totally.
That's good,
just kind of.
Sort of.
He pitied them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Oh, that's nice. He pitied them.
He pitied them.
Yeah.
I hope they work their shit out.
I always love it when people pity me. Don't you love it when people pity you?
I feel bad for those dudes over there. I'm magic and have power. I wish they'd get their shit together. And to this day, he still has not completely destroyed them or banished them from his presence.
I mean, that's actually true.
To this day.
To this day.
King Hazael of Aram died, and his son Ben-Hadad became the next king. Then Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, recaptured from Ben-Hadad, son of Hazael, the towns that had been taken from Jehoash's father, Jehoahaz.
Fucking hell.
Jehoash defeated Ben-Hadad on 3 occasions, and he recovered the Israelite towns. The end.
That's great. That's great.
When I go back through this and I make this a story that I can read,
asterisks.
I'm going to have to do like a search and find, replace, just so that I can understand what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
And who all these fuckers are.
I think that when we do our book, we should just like, I mean, unless it's names that we really need, but like in instances like this, you just...
Larry and
John and...
No, not John. John's too Bible-y.
Yeah, right, you're right.
What about Geraldo?
Yeah, sure, Geraldo.
And,
why not?
Donald.
Tucker.
Tucker. Yeah. There we go.
We'll just replace all the names with like right-wing assholes.
Lindsay.
Right? Yeah.
Mitch.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
This is perfect.
So when we get to Second Kings, we got to remember, we'll just
start
right-wing assholes.
Yeah,
yeah. There we go.
Oh, there's this one guy I listen to, Andrew Duffer, on YouTube, and he always calls Lindsey Graham Ladybug. And it makes me laugh so fucking much every time. He just calls him Ladybug.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is,
off topic. Whatever.
That was a lot of J's.
That was so many J's, and you know what? I still don't care what happened that chapter, because except for the one guy coming back to life, it was just a bunch of like another king died, more fighting happened.
Right.
And Judah and Israel are still split, and they're at war with each other on and off.
Again,
more. God is still like, whatevs.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Good, bad,
Meh.
Whatever.
Meh.
Yeah.
This whole chapter was just meh.
I pity them, so, you know, whatever.
Pity the fool. And on that note...
Yeah, let's get on out of here. So that was 2 Kings chapter 13.
Yep.
And tomorrow we'll be back with...
2 Kings chapter 14.
We'll see you guys then.
Boy. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Let's see. You broke into B.A. Baracus' voice, or wasn't it?
What? Oh, pity the fool.
Pity the fool, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we found out that aloe vera's out and Elisha's bones are in.
Aloe vera?
Yeah,
what?
like, you know, you keep it around the healed wounds and shit. But, I mean, why keep that if you got Elisha's bones for resurrections, you know?
Did you just pull that out of your ass?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was going to say something like Jessica and Jennifer and Jerome and Jeremy and Jim and Joe Bob and Jalila and all kinds of names that start with J.
Right.
They were all kings and they did kingy things.
Yeah. They sure did.
And then Elisha died.
Yeah. But then resurrected somebody after he died.
His bones did.
His bones did.
And he made somebody fire arrows and bang them on the ground.
Right.
He threw it on the ground.
Why did you do it 5 times? Damn it.
Stupid.
Now you did it only 3 times.
No.
Asshole.
And Bananarama.
What?
Aram.
Oh.
Beat them, or they beat Aram. Bananarama.
What the fuck?
You're
just rambling.
That's what I felt like. That whole chapter was just rambling.
Got it.
Jump, jive, and then you wail.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, that was 2 Kings chapter 13.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we're doing...
2 Kings chapter 14.
All right, let's go do this.
Let's. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 14.
Okay.
It starts off with the guy Amaziah, but I have to tell you something real quick.
Okay.
The name Amaziah, for some reason in my head, it was going Amaziah, and that made me think of that old Chef Boyardee commercial. Hooray for beefaroni!
Wow, that is that's interesting.
That's a sick burn.
No, that's not a sick burn.
That's not a sick burn.
No.
That's a deep cut.
That's
what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
We'll go with that. Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's not something that you would pull out.
I was thinking it was a weird connection. Like,
Amaziah. Hooray for Amaziah.
But yeah.
Sometimes when things have really good syllable beats, it makes me think of other things with similar syllables.
Got it.
Unlike when people have the same letter of the first name. That just sucks.
That was horrible.
But Amaziah.
Right.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Amaziah, Beefaroni, son of Joash, began to rule over Judah in the 2nd year of the reign of King Jehoash of Israel.
Got it.
Amaziah
Oh my God.
was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 29 years.
29.
His mother was Jehoiadin from Jerusalem.
His mother's name started with a J too? Jesus Christ.
Get the fuck out of here with that. You are lying. Amaziah
Oh my God.
did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, but not like his ancestor David.
Yeah, David was so much better than Amaziah.
Amaziah was awesome. I think he was better than David because his name was more fun.
Okay.
Are you irritated yet?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Instead, Amaziah followed the example of his father Joash. Amaziah did not destroy the pagan shrines, that motherfucker.
Oh, man.
And the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there.
What an asshole.
So he wasn't all that.
He was still good.
He was almost as good as David.
But not quite as good as David.
His hair was not as pretty.
Right, yeah. It's all about the hair.
It's all about that hair. What?
Nothing.
If you can't make it a song, it's not worth saying.
Got it. Okay.
When Amaziah was well established as king, he executed the officials who had assassinated his father. Fair.
Okay.
Fair. 'Cause remember,
so I guess either they were working for him and he was like covering up his tracks, or they weren't working for him and he was like, fuck you.
Fuck you for killing my dad, even though it made me be a king.
Either way, they never did really explain why he assassinated them.
No.
Or why they assassinated them.
It's like he ruled for all these years and they were like, cool, cool, cool. And then they were like, okay, but no, we're done with you now.
Right.
Yeah, out of the blue.
Yeah.
However, he did not kill the children of the assassins.
Well, that's awfully nice of him.
I love it when people don't kill children.
Yeah, that was really great.
For he obeyed the command of the Lord as written by Moses in the book of the law.
Can you imagine if law was like it was back in biblical times, and like if something happened to your dad, you got punished for it,
right?
Died. Essentially.
But he followed the law that said parents must not be put to death for the sins of their children, nor children for the sins of their parents, even though God does it all the fucking time.
Right? Yeah.
Those deserving to die must be put to death for their own fucking crimes.
I mean, that's what that's what I would think, yeah.
Right? Did you know that in Alabama right now, they're talking about ways to kill prisoners? They've been arguing apparently over whether this new cocktail of nitrous something or other is humane.
Right.
And they decided, no, I guess not. So instead they're just continuing on with their lethal injection, one of which took 3 hours to kill somebody. And one of the doctors on site is reported as having said that the people administering it were incompetent to the point of danger.
Wow.
And he was saying that about people whose job was literally to kill somebody.
Right.
Right, yeah. The good stuff, those Christian people that like to murder people.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Prisoners.
I don't know that has anything to do with Christianity, but...
Well, it's the Christians that are for it.
Generally speaking, not always, but I mean, the act itself is a job that somebody's doing. Now, should you want that job? I wouldn't think I would want that job.
I don't want that job.
It is somebody's job, not a Christian thing.
But
so it's kind of unfair to lay that on Christianity.
Okay, hold on. The job itself, yes, can be done by whoever is in that position. But the notion of killing prisoners, that is led and pushed by Christians.
And again, generally.
But
it is not a Christian cause, so to speak, but it is.
But the Christians are for it.
It is generally on that side of things.
The Christians are for it.
Again, generally.
Because they do not actually love life the way they say they do. There are many Christians who are
not for the death penalty, so...
Well, I bet that those same Christians that are not for the death penalty are probably more pro-choice, and they do not represent the majority of Christians.
Well, and I would imagine that there are actually some atheists who are pro death penalty. Things. Yeah.
Well, those people suck.
Well,
and I think they're trash.
I'm just saying.
You should not be for the death of people. That's all.
Right. I agree.
Okay.
But just saying. It's not a Christian thing necessarily.
Whatever. I disagree with you.
Okay.
Amaziah also killed 10,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt.
What a great guy.
Salt and pepper.
Killing 10,000 of those people.
He also conquered Selah and changed its name to Joktheel, as it is called to this day.
Okay. I've never heard of that place.
But
that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I was going to say, I haven't heard of a lot of places.
Right. No, I'm just saying.
One day, Amaziah sent messengers with this challenge to Israel's king Jehoash. I'm so sorry. I keep fucking that name up really bad.
Right, it starts with J.
Yeah. Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz and grandson of Jehu. So he made this challenge. Come and meet me in battle, bitches.
Yeah.
But King Jehoash of Israel replied to King Amaziah of Judah with this story. Out in the Lebanon mountains, a thistle sent a message to a mighty cedar tree. Give your daughter in marriage to my son. Because trees and thistles have daughters and sons.
I'm assuming that this is some sort of a...
It's a parable.
Yeah.
But just then, a wild animal of Lebanon came by and stepped on the thistle, crushing it. You have indeed defeated Edom, and you are proud of it, but be content with your victory and stay at home. Why stir up trouble that will only bring disaster on you and the people of Judah?
Right.
What a fucking strange parable. Why did he need to be like, you're strong, you thistle, but you could get stepped on.
Right.
So don't be all thistling.
Well, he's probably trying to stroke his ego while saying, no, you're going to get your ass crushed.
I guess.
I mean, that's all.
It just seems like a really, I don't know. One day a pencil said to a pen. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, weirdos. But Amaziah refused to listen. So King Jehoash of Israel mobilized his army against King Amaziah of Judah. Okay. See, I told you that Judah and Israel were at odds.
Absolutely right.
You were trying to tell me I was wrong.
No, it was all the J's. It fucked me up.
It did. It fucked us all up.
Right.
We all had troubles that day.
Yeah.
The two armies drew up their battle lines at Beth Shemesh in Judah.
The place was a popular place back then.
Mm-hmm. Judah was routed by the army of Israel, and its army scattered and fled for home.
Wait, who routed who?
I forgot to pay attention. Okay, Judah was routed by the army of Israel.
Oh, so they were right.
Yeah. And its army scattered and fled for home. King Jehoash of Israel captured Judah's king, Amaziah, son of Joash and grandson of Ahaziah, at Beth Shemesh.
But I know he reigned for 29 years, so is this like...
Is this towards the end?
Is this at the end of the 29 years, or what?
He should have not been thistling.
Right? Yeah.
Then he marched to Jerusalem, where he demolished 600 feet of Jerusalem's wall from the Ephraim gate to the corner gate.
Damn.
You know the corner gate.
I don't know it.
The gate on the corner.
Yeah.
You know.
That one.
Yeah. He carried off all the gold and silver and all the articles from the temple of the Lord.
Oh, man. He
also seized the treasures from the royal palace, along with hostages, and then returned to Samaria.
So he didn't kill the king, though?
No.
At least not yet.
He just took his shit.
Right.
The rest of the events in Jehoash's reign and everything he did, including the extent of his power and his war with King Amaziah of Judah, are recorded in
the Book of Chronicles of Kings Chronicles.
The Kingly Chronicles of Kingness and Kingships.
Right.
When Jehoash died, he was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel, and his son Jeroboam II became the next king. Fuck all you Jays. King Amaziah of Judah lived for 15 years after the death of King Jehoash of Israel. The rest of the events in Amaziah's reign are recorded in
that same fucking book.
Yep. There was a conspiracy against Amaziah's life in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish.
Okay.
Lachish.
Got it.
But his enemies sent assassins after him, and they killed him there.
Man, his dad got killed by assassins, and he got killed by assassins.
Yeah,
that's some bullshit.
They ruled pretty long for having got assassinated,
right?
Though.
Yeah, both of them.
They brought his body back to Jerusalem on a horse, and he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David. All the people of Judah had crowned Amaziah's 16-year-old son, Uzziah, as king in place of his father, Amaziah.
Oh, my God.
After his father's death, Uzziah rebuilt the town of Elath and restored it to Judah.
I don't quite understand why the one dude captured him and then let him go. Like, you're at war. Why would you just not finish him off?
I don't know.
It's almost like they were kind of like play war.
It's kind of like they're checking the box the way we're reading the Bible.
I guess, yeah.
And then that, okay, whatever. And then I killed you, and then you killed us. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Jeroboam II, the son of Jehoash, began to rule over Israel in the 15th year of King Amaziah's reign in Judah. Mm-hmm. He reigned in Samaria 41 years.
Damn.
That's a long-ass time.
Long time.
He did what was evil in the Lord's sight.
Son of a bitch. But he ruled for 41 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He was a badass motherfucker for 41 years.
Okay.
He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam of Nebat had led Israel to commit.
I mean, his name is literally Jeroboam II.
I know, right? Like, what you gonna do? Jeroboam II recovered the territories of Israel between Lebo Hamath and the Dead Sea, just as the Lord, the God of Israel, had promised through Jonah, son of Amittai.
Wait, so he's fulfilling the Lord's promise, but he did evil
in the Lord's sight.
In the Lord's sight.
Yeah.
So, like, this is like shit. I'm just not understanding.
No.
like what this is exactly. Like,
he was good, but he was bad. He was bad, but he was good.
And they're bad, but they're still doing God's work sometimes, sort of.
In a way.
Kind of.
Today?
Maybe?
Then?
I don't know.
For a minute.
I don't really understand this shit.
This is dumb.
I mean...
I can't get into this.
It's just a lot of, like, kings and they're bad, or they're good, or they're kind of good, or they're bad, but not as good as David.
And not as bad as Jeroboam.
Yeah, not as bad as Jeroboam. But Jeroboam II, he reigned for 40 years, and he was pretty bad.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, there's that.
Right. For the Lord saw the bitter suffering of everyone in Israel, and there was no one in Israel, slave or free, to help them. What do you mean? They were so bad, and there was nobody to help them not be bad.
Right.
What?
I mean, there is God.
There's themselves.
Right. But I mean, like, hypothetically, God could fix all of this.
Right. He could.
So,
but he won't.
the God, as it is in the Bible, I should say. I don't...
Yeah. Oh, right. In canon.
Yeah, in canon,
yeah.
God could fix all this.
And because the Lord had not said he would blot out the name of Israel completely, he used Jeroboam II, the son of Jehoash, to save them.
Oh. So he's like, I got nobody else. You all suck. But like, since I got nobody else,
I said I wouldn't squash you, and you're about to squash, so I guess I better unsquash you.
Right. I got no better picks, so it is what it is, guys.
Oh, my team sucks. The rest of the events in the reign of Jeroboam II and everything he did, including the extent of his power, his wars, and how he recovered for Israel both Damascus and Hamath, which had belonged to Judah, are recorded in...
the Kings Chronicles or the Chronicles of Kings.
Yeah.
But he recovered them from Judah, which hypothetically, God's both on Judah and Israel. Like, they're both on...
I know.
It's so fucking confusing.
I can't with this.
And like,
I don't know whose team I'm supposed to be on, and it's all stupid. They're
really
all bad.
It really is. Like, this, I almost can't wait to read the Isaac Asimov version of Kings 2, because Second Kings. Sorry, no, that was
trumping.
It's late.
It was late, and you were trumping.
Yeah. And
Speaking of Trump, we saw a cloud in the sky tonight. Tell the people what it looked like.
I said, look, it's Trump's penis.
Because it did look like a penis, an erect penis, but it was like this teeny tiny mushroomy penis.
Yeah, it was like how, what's her name?
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels described it, yeah.
Yeah, it literally looked like it could have been Trump's penis up there in the sky.
It did. It really did.
It was very fun.
Yeah, I mean...
we were like, hey, look at that.
As far as clouds go, that one was up there. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. It was up there.
Yeah.
Look at that Trump peen. It was pretty cool.
Right. Good stuff.
Insofar as penises can be cool.
Cloud penises, especially.
Cloud penises.
Yeah. Right.
When Jeroboam II died, he was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Then his son Zechariah, there we go, became the next king.
At least
the end.
He had the good sense to not name him something that started with J.
Or Jeroboam the third or fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
Zechariah.
Right. Yeah.
That reminds me of there's a Dr. Seuss cartoon, like animated thing. Mm-hmm. Only his name was Zachariah, not Zechariah. But it's a Halloween special. So actually, this is the right time of year for it.
Gotcha.
You should watch it. The end.
Okay. All right. Well, that was 2 Kings chapter 14.
And
tomorrow we'll be back with
2 Kings chapter 15.
We'll see you guys then.
Boy. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
No.
I mean, right?
Because it was a lot of fucking kings, and like, I just couldn't even hardly... I mean, it was boring as fuck.
Hooray for Amaziah! That's the only thing I remember.
Right. There was that.
And,
at least his fucking name doesn't start with J.
I'm gonna call him Beefaroni when I write this book thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. With an asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beefaroni.
Okay.
All these guys are going to have weird.
So anyway, I mean, that was pretty much it, right? Though there was a bunch of fucking kings and
kings be kinging.
And then kings died, and then they died some more, and then then there were more kings.
Yeah.
And some of them were good, but not quite, and then some of them were bad, but bad.
Yeah.
And that's the gist of it.
And God was like, "Oh, my team is losing."
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was 2 Kings chapter 14.
It was.
And today is
2 Kings chapter 15.
Well, let's hop on into this.
Okie dokie. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 15.
Okay.
And it looks like there's going to be a bunch of little sections about various kings in this 2 Kings chapter.
Well, you shouldn't have said that, because then now everybody's going to be like, fuck this, I'm going to not listen to this one.
I'm just telling you that we're going to get some
We're still going to be funny, goddammit.
There's going to be kingly names.
And we're going to be funny.
And funny kings.
And there might be some beefaroni.
No, well,
No beefaroni?
There's only one name of beefaroni.
Fuck.
Uzziah, son of Amaziah, beefaroni, began to rule over Judah in the 27th year of the reign of King Jeroboam II of Israel.
Yeah, I got to make sure you keep that, in your head. It's the second Jeroboam.
In your head. In your head.
If you guys could see how many times I drop my head in shame during a podcast.
It's true. It's true. If we ever do video, y'all will just be like, oh, poor husband. He's so put upon. Because I always break out in song. Every
or
single
something.
thing.
Or you start saying, what's the king, Amaziah. Yeah,
that song. It's a jingle.
Yeah, but you start saying it like, you say something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God.
It's true. Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
that's all I got.
I have to enjoy my life. Okay.
I mean, there is that. Yeah.
And
it's the only one we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, this is the one I have.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to have fun. And everything is more fun when it's a musical. And so if you can't keep up,
we tried musicals before, though.
No, my way of doing musicals is other people's songs that already exist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Not making shit up.
Got it.
And singing the Bible.
Okay.
That's just trash.
Right.
Okay, so this guy, Uzziah guy, son of Amaziah.
Yeah.
He was 16 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 52 years.
Dang, he stayed king for a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time to...
That's like one of the longest reigns I've heard.
Yeah. So. I don't... Could you be a king for 50 years?
I mean, it's free food and lodging, right?
I guess.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
So his mother was some flower-sounding name? Jechaliah. It sounds like a flower, right?
I was thinking Jekyll and Hyde, but
I was thinking like Delilah. Jechaliah from Jerusalem. He did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, just as his father Amaziah had done.
Well, that's good. But he didn't take down the fucking statues, did he?
He did not destroy the pagan shrines. Man. And the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there.
I get the impression they must not have seen these things as very evil.
No, they didn't.
Like if multiple kings didn't take them down, there's not like a big rush to do so, it doesn't seem.
Yeah,
And there must not have been a lot of people saying, hey, let's take them down. There probably was more people saying, no, leave them up.
Either leave them up or who fucking cares?
Right? Yeah.
Is my guess.
Yeah.
The Lord struck the king with leprosy, which lasted until the day he died.
Because he didn't take down the statues?
I guess.
But other kings did that and he didn't strike them with leprosy, so what the fuck?
I think that maybe this guy just had leprosy and they're like, 'cause of God is why.
Right. No, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lived in isolation in a separate house as a king. The king's son Jotham was put in charge of the royal palace, and he governed the people of the land.
So the leprosy king was more like a figurehead and not actually king.
He was more like Elizabeth II. Yeah. The rest of the events in Uzziah's reign and everything he did are recorded in
the King Chronicles, Chronicles of Kings, the chronically
Kingly
shit.
Chronicle Kings.
Yeah, that.
Of book.
Yep.
Kings. The rest, oh yeah, I just read that.
Yeah.
When Uzziah died, he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David. And his son Jotham became the next king because, he already was.
Fucking king, yeah.
Zechariah, son of Jeroboam II. Oh, we're going back to that.
Okay, yeah,
we're back to Israel now.
Right, I got it. This guy was evil, though.
Probably. Began to rule over Israel in the 38th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah.
Yeah.
He reigned in Samaria 6 months.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I did not see that coming, and it made me kind of gasp laugh.
Right? Yeah, 6 months.
Oh, 6 months.
That's rough.
Zechariah did, like, why did they even bother mentioning his name?
Right,
He barely had his new robes measured out.
Right? Yeah.
Zechariah did what was evil. You were right.
I mean, but, like, he didn't... He must have done, like, I don't know, whatever.
He did what was evil in the Lord's sight, as his ancestors had done.
I get the impression, like, it seems like, and I'm possibly wrong here, but I think that most of David's descendants do good, so Judah, and most of, the others in Israel, they're the ones that are being bad mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly. Maybe I'm
The
wrong
Joseph
to some
tribes.
degree, but yeah. Yeah, it seems like the Judah tribes, they're the ones winning out here as far as who's quote-unquote good versus evil.
Right.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit way back when.
Yeah.
Then Shallum, son of Jabesh, conspired against Zechariah, assassinated him in public, and became the next king.
Damn, he did it in public.
In
he's
public.
like, and now I'm your fucking king, assholes.
Bow, bitches.
Right now.
The rest of the events in Zechariah's reign are recorded in
The
that one
chronically
book.
fucking king thing. Yeah.
So the Lord's message to Jehu came true. Your descendants will be kings of Israel down to the 4th generation.
Okay.
And then you're done.
Yeah. All of 6 months in that last one.
No mas.
Right?
Shallum, son of Jabesh, began to rule over Israel in the 39th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah. Shallum reigned in Samaria only 1 month.
Dang.
He killed him in public, said he's king, and then only lasted a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Then Menahem, son of Gadi, went to Samaria from Tirzah and assassinated him. And he
Man.
became the next king.
Damn.
The rest...
This is a lot of fucking turmoil going on.
Yeah. The rest of the events in Shallum's reign, including his conspiracy, are recorded in that fucking book.
Wait, they didn't even have... That guy that only served a month, they didn't even say whether he was evil or good.
No, he didn't have a
like-
chance to pick teams.
He's like, I am, and then they killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. At that time, Menahem destroyed the town of Tapua and all the surrounding countryside as far as Tirzah because its citizens refused to surrender the town. He killed the entire population. Ooh, and ripped open the pregnant women.
Oh,
God,
really?
why did they have to
Jesus
say
Christ.
it like that?
That's fucking horrible.
Jeez, I don't like it. That's gross and mean and unnecessary and cruel and horrible.
I agree.
Oh, sorry, I would have did a trigger warning.
I think they're trying to prove how evil they were in the Lord's eyes.
Guess.
But I don't really see God as much better, honestly.
No, he's not.
So,
Because he let it happen.
right, and he's often told them to destroy entire towns and stuff
Yeah.
too, and I'm sure that things like that happened in those instances. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Because men are gross.
well, yeah.
And
Also, they had to kill everybody, so I mean,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay, next little section. Menahem, son of Gadi, began to rule over Israel. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Israel. 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 In the 39th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah.
Okay.
He reigned in Samaria 10 years. They
Wow,
finally
at
got a
least it was
king
past
up
the
in here.
months, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
evil again?
Menahem did what was evil in the Lord's
See,
sight.
there it is, there it is.
During his entire reign, he refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit.
Yep, it's a line thing. It's the David versus the
is.
Jeroboam.
Yeah.
And
It is.
obviously, in the end, because the Bible is written, the Judah tribe won out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Joseph, which was Manasseh and Ephraim, I think? Ephraim. Pretty
Okay.
sure. Those were the two Joseph tribes, and they were the ones that ruled up there. And then Judah was the other one.
got it.
And those two...
I'll take your word for it because I can't remember honestly.
Well, okay, if I'm being honest, it's not because I remember. It's because I'm bad back reading in
for
Asimov's book.
Yeah, which we are going to catch up with on this next weekend.
This weekend,
but yeah, we had some issues this last weekend, just in case, just to reiterate. So, whatever.
I had my tooth pulled. And
there was that.
Couldn't speak.
Yeah.
So, but where I'm recovering, or not recovering, I am recovered, but where I'm covering in Asimov's book,
right,
is covering. That right bit. Now, that portion where they start to split, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Got it.
So they are at odds with each other.
Right. No, I mean, we've gathered that from the very get-go, but it's just like, it's such a detailed account of all these fucking kings, and it's all to prove lineage, essentially.
But it's annoying because they're all supposed to be Jacob's, the tribes of Jacob.
Right. They're still Israelites. And it's like, okay, can we just get to the point where you all get back together again and
right.
Make good on whatever is going on here?
Exactly.
And I don't really give a fuck about all the J kings,
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when some of them lasted as little as a month.
Right.
Not even worth mentioning.
Don't even fucking mention that shit.
God. Then King Tiglath-Pileser, I don't know.
Something.
Of Assyria invaded the land. But Menahem paid him 37 tons of silver.
Shit.
To gain his support and tightening his grip on royal power.
That's way more expensive than Dove shit.
Indeed, yeah. Menahem extorted the money from the rich of Israel, demanding that each of them pay 50 pieces of silver to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria turned from attacking Israel and did not stay in the land. I mean, smart.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Yeah,
you got to do what you got to do, right? He protected the people by saying, "Let's all pool together our resources." It was
like the mafia. He's like, "Pay up, or you're dead."
Yeah. The rest of the events in Menahem's reign and everything he did are recorded in that fucking book. Okay?
I mean, they say he was evil, but he kept his, people out of war.
Yeah.
And from dying horribly.
Right?
So, I mean, that's not bad.
No.
I would be all right with that king. They're like, yeah, dude, you're awesome.
Yeah, he did okay.
Keep it up, man.
When Menahem died, his son Pekahiah.
Okay.
Pikachu became the next king. Yep, his name is now Pikachu.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we're going to read about Pikachu now. Ready?
Okay.
Pikachu, son of Menahem, began to rule over Israel in the 50th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah.
Okay.
He reigned in Samaria 2 years. That's not very long.
Boring. Yeah.
Pikachu. But Pikachu did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit. Then Pekah, son of Remaliah, the commander of Pikachu's army, conspired against him.
And killed his ass.
With 50 men from Gilead, Pekah assassinated the king along with Argob and Ariah in the citadel of the palace of Samaria.
I see.
And Pekah reigned in his place. The rest of the events in Pikachu's reign and everything he did are recorded in that other fucking book.
The Chronicles thing.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to read about Pekah.
Pica de Gallo.
Pica de Gallo. Oh my God, this is awesome. Yes, it's all coming together.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Pica de Gallo, son of Remaliah, began to rule over Israel in the 52nd year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah.
Did he reign for 52 or 53?
I don't remember.
What does it matter? It was near the end of his reign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He reigned in Samaria 20 years.
It's not bad. But I bet he did evil.
Okay.
He did evil in the Lord, in sight of the Lord.
But
I bet
Pica de Gallo did what was evil in the Lord's sight.
I'm getting good at this.
You are, yeah. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit.
It really sucks for Jeroboam. I would fucking hate to be Jeroboam because, your name is just
dirt.
It's fucking, yeah.
It's mud.
You've been strewn through the mud for, centuries at this point.
Centuries. Yeah.
It's insane. You are the one shining example of shittiness.
Right?
That they have to throw out every single fucking time.
And you're not even Satan or the devil.
Right? Not what you would think he is, the way they talk about him.
You would think he's Molech.
Right. Yeah. He's
eating babies.
man, like this book that has survived how many fucking, thousands of years or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he's known. I mean, this guy from thousands of years ago is
known for being an
consistently and
ass.
forever known as being an asshole.
He was the evil one.
Right. That's a sucky legacy.
Yeah, that is a really sucky legacy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's dead.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't give a shit, but
right.
I mean...
It is sad,
I'm just saying, like, when you think about preserving your name for future generations, right?
Right.
That's not what you think about. At least not me.
No.
I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that's like, well, as long as they're saying my name, I don't care, whatever.
Right. That would be Trump. Like, I would want to be known as the person who went out of their way to help.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's what I want my legacy to be.
Right.
I want the legacy for me to be, the answer was always yes if she could.
Right.
Because I do that to my own detriment, as you point out often.
Yes.
But I want people to think well of me.
Unless I ask you, then...
Oh, no, then the answer's always no.
Right, yeah.
The answer's always no.
That's right.
Shut up, I massaged your back tonight. Rude. During Pekah-Tegayo's reign, King Tiglath-Pileser of Assyria attacked Israel again, and he captured the towns of Ijon, Abel-Beth-Makkah, Genoa, Kadesh, and Hazor. He also conquered the regions of Gilead, Galilee, and all of Naphtali. And he took the people of Assyria as captives.
Wait, Assyria wasn't even part of the Israelites. Assyria was attacking Israel earlier, I thought. Mm-hmm. So, like, he was conquering lots of shit.
He conquered everything.
Right.
He was like, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right.
Is that the guy they paid off?
No.
Oh, that's somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Hoshea, son of Elah, conspired against Pekah-Tegayo and assassinated him.
Okay.
He began to rule over Israel in the 20th year of Jotham, son of Uzziah. The rest of the events in Pekah-Tegayo's reign and everything he did are recorded in that other fucking chronicle book.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to read about Jotham.
All right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Jotham, son of Uzziah. So now we're back over in Judah.
And back to the J's.
Yeah. Jotham, son of Uzziah, began to rule over Judah in the second year of King Pekah-Tegayo's reign in Israel.
Okay.
He was 25 years old when he became king.
He did pleasing stuff for the Lord, I bet.
And he reigned in Jerusalem 16 years.
Okay.
His mother was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok.
Okay.
Jotham did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight.
I'm getting this. I'm getting it.
Because Judah's all good.
That's right.
He did everything his father Uzziah had done, but he did not destroy the pagan shrines. And the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there.
Did he get fucking leprosy?
Nope.
Why is there different punishments or non-punishments for people for doing the same fucking thing?
I think we both know the answer to that question.
I do know the answer. I'm just asking it out loud. That's all.
The answer is there's no such thing as God.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these people are stupid.
You know what? They're just being written about. Maybe they didn't give a fuck, just like we don't give a fuck.
True. That is true. That is true. He rebuilt the upper gate of the temple of the Lord. The rest of the events in Jotham's reign and everything he did are recorded in that other fucking chronicle book.
Bullshit.
In those days, the Lord began to send King Rezin of Aram and King Pekah-Tegayo of Israel to attack Judah.
Wait, why?
Because God did it.
Right, but like Judah is always pleasing to the Lord.
Because there's still fucking shrines over there.
Okay, but you're sending somebody who's not pleasing and an asshole to go attack your good people
to
over there.
To them as a fine weapon.
And yet they're all your people.
Build character.
This whole thing is so fucked up and stupid.
It's so stupid. When Jotham died, he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, and his son Ahaz became the next king. The end.
Ahaz.
More kingly kings doing king stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But this time we got a leper.
Yeah, for no fucking... Well, I mean, like... and he ruled from... He didn't even rule. Yeah. He just sat in a fucking room.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yep. That happened. whatever.
All right.
What you gonna do?
That was 2 Kings chapter 15.
Yep.
And tomorrow is
Saturday.
and we'll be back with
Saturday Q&A.
And then on Sunday we got
Sacrilegious Book Club. And the
our weekly rap replay. Yes, that. Yes. And then we'll be back again on Monday with
2 Kings chapter 16.
All right. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep. Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know what today is?
I do. Do you know what today is?
Saturday Q&A.
There we go.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Do you know what we're queuing?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, so remember at the beginning of this week, we did 2 Kings chapter 11 because this week we were covering chapters 11 through 15.
Right.
Okay, and we had two things that we were like, who the fuck is that? Or what the fuck is that?
Sure.
One of them was the Karaite mercenaries.
Okay.
And the other was Matan, the priest of Baal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about those guys a little bit.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Before we get into it, I do want to cover one thing just so everybody is aware.
Housekeeping?
Housekeeping, yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, two things. First thing is, I don't know when today's or yesterday's episode, the episode 15 for 2 Kings released, because it's showing that only like one person listened to it, and it looks like it might have released on 11 o'clock or something
at night.
But then it shows that it did it 17 hours ago. I don't know. But it kind of leads into the second thing, which is that we're now doing like we've got real ads now.
Real ads.
Real ads.
What does that mean?
It means that like people are like real companies are paying us money to do this stuff.
What?
And
so
I'm
we
like,
have actual
what?
sponsor kind of thing?
Yeah, but it required me to change something around. And so like I did that and maybe that caused some problems. So if you ran into problems, I apologize. But on the plus side, I mean, we're going to have more support for our podcast just through ads. Yay. And that's pretty cool for us anyway. And, you know, it's not going to be any more ads than you guys are used to. So
no, because we're replacing them.
Different types of ads.
Yeah.
So.
They'll be real ads instead of us ads.
Yeah. And I know nobody likes to talk about ads, but that's what's, you know, happening at the moment. So there's that.
That's a thing. And so you might have accidentally scheduled that episode somehow.
Or something to do with the ads taking effect might have caused a problem or something. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But hopefully everybody got to listen to the last episode. If not, it is released. So, you know, go find it on anchor.fm or something. It's somewhere. For sure.
Okay. Well, it's showing up on CastBox. That's the app that I use.
It was showing up on Google Podcast when I saw it too, but it's like showing nobody's played it. So I'm like, that's really weird.
Huh.
But anyway, that's all I got for the housekeeping. So let's go ahead and get into the Q&A, huh?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so just to refresh your memory, 2 Kings chapter 11, verse 4 read, "In the 7th year of Athaliah's reign, Jehoiada the priest summoned the commanders, the Karaite mercenaries, and the palace guards to come to the temple of the Lord."
Okay.
And that was right before Athaliah was like, y'all killed my child, prepare to die.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So... first thing is, I was saying Karaite mercenaries, but actually I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's the Karaites, not the Karaites.
Ah, Karaites, okay.
Yeah. And so we were like, who the fuck are the Karaite mercenaries? What's going on there? So a lot of scholars believe that they were a group of elite mercenaries employed by King David, some of whom acted as his bodyguards and others as part of his army.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like an elite force.
Right.
Okay. There's more like stories behind who they might have been. Like some people say that they might have been recruited from Sicilia by Judah and other countries such as Egypt.
Okay.
Some people think that they were Philistines from David's time in Ziklag.
Okay.
Okay. Others think that they were a group of men who fled from Crete.
Okay.
So they were Cretans.
Yeah.
And others believe that they were men. This is the most interesting theory to me, that they were a group of men decreed to be the great Sanhedrin. The great Sanhedrin.
Okay.
What the fuck is that, right? What's the great Sanhedrin?
Right.
So the Sanhedrin is an assembly of elders known as rabbis after the destruction of the Second Temple, which we haven't reached yet.
Okay.
Okay. And they were appointed to sit as a tribunal in every city in the ancient land of Israel. Okay. There were two Sanhedrins, the lesser and the greater. The greater had 71 elders, and the lesser Sanhedrin only had 23 judges, and they were appointed to sit as a tribunal as well. But there was only supposed to be one great Sanhedrin, and they had roles such as a Supreme Court, taking appeals from cases that were decided by the lesser courts or the lesser Sanhedrin.
Got it.
Okay. And so there's like all these neat underground theories. Like, think of like the Masons, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Right.
Where this elite secret group
Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly. This elite secret group were just this cool mercenaries that worked for David, and they kept the Hebrew law closer than even the Hebrews themselves did.
Okay.
And then just kept going and kept going and kept going and protecting them through all of these hard times. And so then when Athaliah or when Jehoiada called these guys to come,
right,
that's why they came.
Okay.
To kind of see what was happening and put it under control. Anyway, these are all different theories. Like,
sure,
nobody knows for sure.
Sure.
But I just thought that was like really cool. Like,
well, but if they didn't form until after the second fall, the second temple, how does that form into this?
Okay, because they would have been mercenary. The Sanhedrin didn't form until after. But these guys were already around. They were already loyalists to the throne and to the original Hebrew laws.
I gotcha.
Okay. So they would have become rabbis eventually. Kind of like how the Levites and the priests were like interchangeable.
Right.
These what are they? Carides? Carides would have become the Caridi mercenaries would have become the Sanhedrin.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know. I'm not saying that they are that.
But it's just one of those things that's a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you hear about the Freemasons and you kind of have your own theories, and then you hear about the Illuminati and you have your own theories, and then the Freemasons may be in league with the Illuminati, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Like, nobody knows, right?
Sure,
It's just kind of cool. So that answers that question. Actually, in no way whatsoever, but it's just fun to think about it.
Right.
And actually, there's one lady who wrote books about the Carides and made up all these fictions. And I did not take her name down because I think she's like a self-pub, and I didn't really, I haven't read it. So I don't want to say, go read. Yeah, I don't want to promote it when I don't know anything about it, like if it's good or not. But this lady wrote these stories about the Carides, so she did all of this research into how they might have lived, and talked about how they are still around today.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
It sounds cool. I'm gonna look it up, and if it's worth reading, I'm going to put it out there. But until then, I'm keeping it to myself. All right. Just thought I'd put that out there, though, that's a thing on the horizon, maybe.
Right. I gotcha.
Okay. So moving on, we were like, who the hell is Matan, the priest of Baal?
Yeah.
Right? So 2 Kings chapter 11, verse 18. They killed Matan, the priest of Baal, in front of all the altars.
And I was like, damn, they named Baal priest.
Specifically.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, let me talk about something that I actually have learned in the Asimov book. This is so crazy that every time we have a question from here where we're at, I'm reading about it from like chapters and books ago.
Right.
Okay, so Second Kings, well, First and Second Kings, you know how it goes back and forth between Israel and Judah,
Right.
And tells us the rise and fall and who was good and who was bad and all that, right?
Sure, yeah.
So those two stories kind of they mirror each other. So what was I trying to say? Okay, compared to how the Baal priests, this story compares to how the Baal priests of Jezebel in Samaria, you remember how that happened? Like, she led all of those priests, right?
Right, yeah.
This mirrors that in that he was just one priest and there weren't a lot of leaders, whereas there weren't a lot of followers, I should say.
Right.
Whereas she was one person and there was a ton of Baal followers.
Right.
Right. So this mirrors that.
Okay.
And apparently that's something that we have missed, that because it's so boring and because in Judah all the names start with J and we just can't wait to get through it.
Yeah.
That every time they talk about like, he was good but did bad in this way, then we see a equal story on the other side or something that is very similar to it.
Right.
And this was one of those things. So the word matan comes from the word gift, and it literally means giving. And it's part of the Jewish holiday of Shavat that is also known as Zaman Matan Torah, which means the time of the giving of the Torah. So it's interesting that name, like as we know it, is bad, but in Hebrew religion, it's actually, or in Hebrew legend, it's actually a good word.
Got it. Yeah.
And there was this whole list of Israeli people who today have the name Matan.
Oh.
And like there were football players, which, would be American soccer.
Yeah.
But there was a politician and some Israeli musicians. So, I mean, it's a very popular name today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And in the Gospel of Matthew, which is New Testament, so we haven't got there yet.
Right.
Matan is the paternal grandfather of Joseph, who is the father of Jesus,
Right.
So it's a good name. Yeah. It's very weird.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I could find on him. More just about the name than himself and the fact that it kind of mirrored Jezebel's foray with Baal.
Right.
But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, but that's all I could find about him. Sorry.
All right. Well, the rest of the chapters we read were mostly just a bunch of kings and then dying. Yeah. And then they died some more.
And then they died some more, and some were good and some were bad.
Right.
And the Davidic ones weren't as good as the other ones.
No, the Davidic ones were better.
Yeah. Sorry. They were better than the Joseph ones.
Right.
Sorry, I had it backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Right.
And I was right. It was Manasseh and Esau are the Joseph tribes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, good
I
to
said
know.
Ephraim, but it was Esau.
Got it. Got it. All right. Well, is that our Q&A then?
That's our Q&A then.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And we will be back tomorrow with
Sacrilegious Book Club.
That one. And, of course, we'll be back. And then we got our weekly replay tomorrow as well. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be back again on Monday with
2 Kings chapter 16.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe, leave an Apple review, join us on Twitter, support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.